Chapter 043 The Demon God Appears. What does this mean? He wants to fight me one-on-one? Fang Han stared at the Azura commander 100 paces away. The Azura had an incredibly handsome head, just like that of an elegant young gentleman, but his entire body was covered in dark cyan scales that flickered with a bizarre glow. His enormous demonic frame clashed terribly with his pretty face, a horrifying combination of a devil and an immortal. If he sheds that outer shell and takes human form, just how handsome would this Azura commander be? Fang Han thought to himself, it is such bitter irony that a transformed demon can be even more handsome than any human man. I am Fang Han, outer sect disciple of Yuhua sect. May I ask, Lord Azura Commander, do you truly intend to duel me? A disciple of Yuhua sect? Look at your body, incredibly tough, the strength of 5 horses, endless stamina, condensed flesh and blood. Your foundation is far sturdier than that of an ordinary god transformation expert. You must be a standout among inner sect disciples, even a rank master on the mountain and river list. How can you be merely an outer sect disciple? The Azura commander exclaimed in surprise. This Azura is extremely powerful, twice as strong as Prince Evil Moon. Even though he has no magical powers or divine abilities, if he charges at me, I'm afraid I won't even be able to track his speed with my naked eye. Fang Han did not answer, instead he focused on observing the Azura's vital energy and state. He had heard Yin say earlier that an Azura's strength was terrifyingly powerful, a full 13 horses' strength. An ordinary god transformation expert only had the strength of 5 horses. Even that bandit leader, Prince Evil Moon, who had a fortuitous encounter and drank the blood of a Millennium 6-winged bloodbat from the desert, only had the strength of 7 horses, still far from being a match for this Azura. Fang Han had just seen how fast the Azura dodged Fang Qingshua's purple lightning Yin thunder slash. He was just a black blur too fast for the naked eye to catch. He knew if the Azura charged to kill him, he wouldn't even be able to mobilize his flying swords in time, unless he put on the blood cotton demon robe. What a pity. If I had cultivated to the 10th level of God transformation, I would have the strength of 8 horses, and could at least put up a little fight. Now that I've run into this Azura, I'm definitely dead. That's not necessarily true. Can't you see? This Azura doesn't seem to want to kill you, and he doesn't want you to slaughter the entire fiend army either, otherwise he would have attacked long ago. All Azuras are bloodthirsty and brutal by nature, they shouldn't be this hesitant. Yan's voice carried a hint of nervousness. If Fang Han died, he would be exposed, and his end would be grim. He wants to capture me alive to threaten Fang Qingxue. How could I not see through this little trick? A flash of understanding crossed Fang Han's mind. He thinks I'm someone important to Fang Qingxue. With your aptitude, you're definitely no small character. It's no wonder he misunderstood. Since he won't kill you and only wants to capture you alive, that leaves us plenty of opportunities. Yin chuckled darkly. What opportunity? Are we even going to be able to kill him? An Azura's scales are far tougher than a flying Yiksha's, not even flying swords can cut through them easily. I have my ways. Whether you are outer sect or inner sect, put down your sword and come with me, and I will not kill you. The Azura had no way of knowing what Fang Han and Yin were discussing. Seeing Fang Han remain silent for so long, he spoke again, his face cold and brimming with overwhelming confidence. With his strength, the Azura could even hold his own against a master of the mystic ability realm, let alone a mere outer sect disciple. What if I don't put it down? A smile tugged at the corner of Fang Han's mouth. He pointed at the distant demon god altar, where purple lightning flickered and black smoke billowed. The enormous demon god statue was teetering, on the verge of being blown apart by Fang Qingxue. When senior sister Qingxue destroys the altar and kills those demonic cult disciples, you will be a dead man for sure. Is that so? Then we'll see who kills who first. A strange, sneering smile spread across the Azura's face. Suddenly, an icy chill seized Fang Han's heart. A demonic claw surged out of thin air, stabbing straight for his heart. So fast. The Azura was still 100 paces away one moment, yet his claw had already reached Fang Han's chest, too fast for his eyes to even react. Only at this split second did Fang Han truly understand how terrifying an Azura was. He reacted without thinking, swung his sword with all his might, and the move Iron Lock crosses the river, blocking it in front of his chest. Clang! Bursts of purple lightning exploded off the ritual sword. Fang Han was sent flying backwards, tumbling more than 10 paces across the ground, his whole body aching and numb. He had blocked the Azura's claw, but the tremendous force had sent him flying. With his 5-horse strength, he simply could not withstand an Azura of 13-horse strength. Ziz, 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 ziz. Purple lightning coiled around the Azura's whole body, paralyzing him for a moment. But the next moment, the lightning vanished. It had only slowed his movement for a split second, unable to deal any real damage to him. Yet that moment of paralysis had saved Fang Han's life. If the Azura had pressed on with his attack, Fang Han would surely have been killed. His strength is far too great. When Fang Han scrambled back to his feet, he saw the purple lightning fade from the Azura's body, and his own internal organs felt as if they were turning inside out. Especially his right hand holding the sword, the web between his thumb and forefinger was split open, blood streaming down. The concussion from the Azura's claw was this devastating. Human, your strength is too weak. I do not wish to kill you, put down your sword. After the purple lightning faded from his body, a glint of blood-red light flashed through the Azura's eyes. He moved his lips and spoke in perfect, clear human speech. The purple lightning on your sword carries very little magical power, it cannot harm me at all. Humph. Fang Han snorted coldly, he shrank back, then suddenly bounded 20 paces away, sprinting straight toward an underground dark river, apparently intending to use the river to escape the Azura's killing strike. You think you can run? The Azura flickered his body and gave chase, turning into a black blur. He tore through the air, letting out a long shrill whistle like the sound of a flute. The wind stirred by his body blew over countless tall mushrooms on the plain, knocking them flat, and those closest to him were even uprooted entirely by the violent air current. Damn! As Fang Han ran, he suddenly heard the sharp whine of wind behind his head, as if the Azura's claw was about to descend and turn his skull into a squashed watermelon. Knowing the Azura had caught up again, Fang Han quickly swung his ritual sword once more, using the move Wrap Head and Shield Brain, spinning the sword around his head, and cutting against the Azura's claw once more. Bang! This time, Fang Han's body was sent flying more than 20 paces. The web of his hand split open again, he coughed up a mouthful of blood, tumbled across the ground, adjusted his breathing, and leaped back to his feet, just in time to see the purple lightning fade from the Azura's body once more. Asterisk shooting star chases the moon asterisk. Seeing this opening, Fang Han suddenly merged his body and sword, leaped forward and thrust, channeling all his strength into the ritual sword, stabbing straight for the Azura's eyes. He did not run anymore, and attacked instead. How bold! The Azura let out a series of sneers. He flickered his body, and suddenly gusts of evil wind blew, leaving after images of him everywhere, so Fang Han's thrust missed completely. Fang Han knew this was the critical moment of life and death, he could not afford the slightest carelessness. He raised all his concentration, under his internal spiritual vision, every bone in his body glinted like crystal, constantly sensing the situation around him. His skin was incredibly sensitive, even the slightest breeze, the faintest scent could trigger a natural reaction from him. He darted up and down at a speed several times faster than a monkey, his ritual sword striking wildly, purple lightning flickering, actually connecting and blocking several of the Azura's consecutive attacks. Snake and crane struggle, 7 stars linked chain, flying spirit glint, dragon vigor tiger ferocity, autumn rain lingering. All these fierce moves were unleashed in one go. As Fang Han fought with all his might, he unleashed every martial art he had learned without holding anything back. Under the pressure of life and death, his potential was unlocked once more. The whole space was filled with the glow of his sword light, within a dozen zhang, his shadows darted everywhere. The endless stamina and tough body granted by the 9-aperture golden elixir finally proved their use. How great was the Azura's strength? How fast was his speed? A full 13 horses' strength condensed into a single strike. Even a master of the mystic ability realm would have their magic broken and their body smashed. Yet Fang Han had blocked them forcefully, one after another. Bang, bang, bang. Bang, bang, bang. More than a dozen craters appeared on the ground, dirt flying everywhere. These were the craters left behind every time the Azura struck, sent Fang Han reeling back, and his feet stomped the ground. But every time he sent Fang Han flying, the Azura would be slightly paralyzed by the purple lightning, his movement hindered and not smooth. And Fang Han would take this chance to adjust his breathing and recover his strength. Thank goodness Fang Qingxue refined my ritual sword again for me, otherwise I could not have escaped today. In the blink of an eye, he had blocked more than 10 of the Azura's attacks with just one sword. By now, the wounds on Fang Han's web were bleeding profusely, he could barely hold onto the hilt. You have actually blocked my 13 flying demon strikes. You can be proud of yourself, I almost begin to begrudge killing a talent like you. The Azura stood still again, looking at Fang Han's blood-soaked hand. How many more strikes can you block? 3? 2 more and you won't be able to hold your sword. Without the purple lightning on this sword to paralyze me, capturing you is as easy as capturing a rabbit. Fang Qingxue. You! Just then, an earth-shaking roar came from the distant demon god altar. Serious little immortal Wang Molan, standing beneath the demon god statue, suddenly saw his Sirius 7 killing smoke ignited, burning into sparks that scattered in all directions. Fang Qingxue's powerful divine ability had forcibly broken through his defense. Boom! His 7 malice gourd was cut through by a sword, and went flying. Fang Qingxue waved her hand, and the treasure flew straight into her grasp. What can you do without your 7 malice gourd? Fang Qingxue grasped the gourd, and the 2 Yinyang purple lightning snakes beside her blasted violently toward the tall demon god statue. She intended to destroy it completely. Just at that moment, the demon god statue suddenly began to squirm, as if it had come alive. A monstrous demonic energy spread out like a tide, sweeping across the entire underground plane. Fang Qingxue's face changed drastically when she saw this. Ah! The demon god appears. We can't delay any longer. The Azura also saw what had happened, his face turned cold. He stomped the ground beneath his feet, and a large chunk of it caved in. In the next moment, his body appeared right in front of Fang Han. He was unleashing his true power at last. It's time. Yan's voice entered Fang Han's mind again. The demon god appearing is no small matter. Fang Qingxue has no time to pay attention to you. We will join forces and kill this Azura together.